Cloud9's response is going to be for this crawl, how they're actually going to play around that. Because, I mean, Rhyme and Petal are kind of the two typical picks that you would go with onto that one. The Grace is going to be taken off the table as well. They definitely don't want to see that alongside a crawl.
Yeah, definitely not. It becomes just almost impossible to actually kill a Krull if you have the Grace there to heal him up. Lyra probably also going to be a pretty hefty priority, I would say, because you don't want to have any sort of extra healing when a Krull is on the table.
You certainly don't. We'll see what the ban is going to be for Rogue here. What they want to deny from Cloud9. Would not be surprised to see a Catherine taken off the table here just to answer for that Grace, as those two bans often go hand in hand.
I would like to see from Rogue later on when they start picking the heroes to go for heroes such as the Kestrel that have a reliable damage output, unlike the Scarves, unlike the Celeste, just because in the case Hammy is feeling a little bit pressure, he doesn't need to land skill shots. Instead, he has to click on the heroes or the players from Cloud9 to deal damage to them. So giving him something easy to execute on is a good choice that Rogue could go for. Instead, they go for the Scarf. Scarf, Samuel, and a cruel roam captain hero for Evil. This is very interesting.
Interesting is definitely the word. We've seen the Koshka captain last season. We saw a tiny bit of Crawl captain before. Looks like Rogue are going to go down that route once again, unless somehow a Scarf or a Samuel becomes a captain, but that seems a little unlikely.
Yeah, I would anticipate the Cruel captain. Baptiste very likely pick for Cloud9 here to finish off this composition, but they're going to go back to the Fortress once again. I kind of like this because there's so much sustain on Samuel, on Cruel, on Scarf individually when they have lifesteal items. Having the Mortal Wounds is just a great way to try and negate that, so I think that's the idea here for Cloud9, but this Rogue composition, this is super intriguing. I'm assuming they're kind of going to try and take advantage of the lower cooldown on From Hell's Heart. You get a couple of cooldown items, you get an Echo, you can start spamming that in team fights. You can even get 3 of them off in one fight if it goes long enough. So there's a little bit of some interesting propositions here from this comp.
A lot of interesting stuff going to be happening on this one. It's time to get into our final game of the day. Hashtag Vainglory 8. Let us know whether you want Rogue to take this one or if Cloud9 are going to reign supreme. Let's pass it back one last time to Sean Humanisto.
Who are you and what have you done with Munchables? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're into Game 3. Rogue versus Cloud9. And Sean Ostino, my friend, we have a very interesting composition coming out of Rogue here.
We have a super interesting composition, Humanist. Evil, who we typically know as being the captain for Rogue, has gone for Samuel. And he's got a weapon blade there. I'm really perplexed, and I'm very fascinated with how this game is going to go.
Yeah, they're going to move forward. Oh, Evil! Was that Evil? What? Oh my, I don't even know. I don't have words to describe how OP that was.
Did the corrupted genius steal it away?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Plus, of course, the weapon blade that he had calculated the reason he purchased it, so he would get the Elder Treant.
Oh, very smart move. So he's got that weapon blade in there for that early game damage. These level 1 and level 2 fights. Really smart. We see Minion Candy actually in the pocket for Hammy, so he's going to be able to candy up these waves, push the waves a little bit closer to the C9 turrets. But if you're a C9 right now, this is a pretty dangerous situation here, because having Rogue win that last game, they've got to be feeling a pretty good spot, and C9's got to be feeling the pressure.
Oh, they got to be feeling really good right now, and I'm just curious, like, how is this Samuel going to work out? One thing, Bacon was talking about is if this was a Captain Krull, you'd see maybe an Echo, multiple From Hell's Hearts coming out. With Evil and the Samuel, we could see, like, Echo Oblivions, and that's so good.
Oh, yeah, Echo Oblivions. A lot of that crowd control that's going to be happening coming out of Evil. Maybe even double Drifting Darks, just to zone people out with that lifesteal. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh my, just double whatever you want, Evil. You're perfect.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. We see Hammy also working on that. He's got that battery in there. He's going to be able to help with his energy regeneration as well. Throwing out those Spitfires there in the lane.
He's on Joseph down in the jungle. Activates the Spectral Smite, moving forward. The Drifting Dart. Mouse inverted. Can he connect? Or one basic attack. Joseph healing up. What was it? Healing Flask? I don't know what was healing him up, but they're able to get it. And very nice job of first blood, but it was up in the lane where they found Hammy. So Cloud9 finding the return kill, and with that, Old School goes immediately into the backs of Rogue.
Yeah, it looks like we do see Old School cleaning up those backs. He's going to get out in time with that back regen camp. But I feel like that was a pretty good trade for Rogue right there. They were able to find one in the back and clean out the whole jungle from C9.
Yeah, that was actually really clean. I love it when Pawn starts playing aggressive. Like, he's only playing aggressive like when he feels an advantage. And of course, you know, for good reason, he's feeling that advantage. Oh, you get rooted up right there, Pawn. Oh, man. I shouldn't have sung your praises right there. No, Pawn. Shadows haven't powered him. Gabe Vizzle's going to go ahead and pour it out there. Pawn maybe could have got in there and done a little bit of work. Joseph is down in the jungle, zoning out Pawn. He's with Old School. And I don't think Pawn the Original actually goes into maybe steal anything off with the two of them here. So it's a lot of time being wasted potentially for Pawn the Original. He hangs out, he's not threatening anything. Now he's going to play games.
Oh, no.
He's on to Joseph. Joseph's moving back up at the lane. Gabe Vizzle moves down for the Merciless Pursuit stun. Hammy with a Spitfire Goop from below the wall. Rogue really taking their time.
Yeah, really taking the time and the aggression. That Dead Man's Rush almost went in, but it looks like he retreated instead. And they're doing some pretty good chip damage on this turret, Humanist.
Rogue, man, I mean, they've been almost at the top for a long time, and just maybe consistency has been an issue, not stringing together a lot of wins week to week to week, but this team looks really good right now. I mean, the fight they're putting up against C9, we don't see many teams able to trade blows like this. Gabe moves forward, finds another stun. There's Evol. He's in that Drifting Dark. Malice have already come out. He's doing a very good job thus far on this Samuel to have an impact. And look at this. He has 2,400 gold in his pocket.
Yeah, he does. That's a lot of gold, and we still haven't seen him buy much other than that Iron Guard contract and the Weapon Blade.
And he's getting lit up, Truth of the Tooth, but Pawn's there. Pawn's onto Joseph, smites him down into the dirt. Joseph's going to respawn with that short respawn timer. Pawn, he wants Old School. He's on Old School. Look at the weakness stacks. Does he have... No, he doesn't have the Spectral Smite. Evil catches him with the Verdict, but not the Malice. It's enough with the Corrupted Genius to find another kill, putting Rogue up 3-1 just about 5 minutes into this one.
Oh my goodness. This is insanity. We have 3,000 gold in the pocket of Evil right now. What is he going to buy? But we still see him out here rotating around with Pawn the Original. They're just keeping us in so much suspense. He picks up that Fountain of Renewal. It's official now. We have the Captain Samuel. I am fascinated with how this is going to play out, Humanist.
I am fascinated as well. I'm really excited to see a bit of innovation in here. An innovation coming out against the #1 team in North America. You know, it's one thing when you come in as like a top squad against someone who you think is not quite as good as you. It's another thing to come out and do it in Game 3 of the finals against the best team in North American Vainglory.
Yeah, we've seen TSM have Captain Koshka, Captain Cruel. We've seen so much innovation from Weapon Pedal coming out of C9, as well as the Sky Captain as well. But this is definitely one to mark down in the history books. Captain Samuel with the Fountain of Renewal, working towards who knows what else.
I mean, if you go back like over a year ago, we saw, you know, a few players doing it occasionally. Mowgli was one of the guys that did it, I think, more than most. It has its own merits. It's very interesting. It allows them to siege, and it allows you to kind of poke and be annoying from range, but also the Oblivion is just so incredibly strong.
Yeah, and back then, I don't know if we had Echo back then when we saw Mowgli doing that.
No,
but
we did not.
No, so it's going to be an even more fascinating dynamic, and this gold miner looks like he's going to be going down.
What I really like is the fact that Evil's actually picked up Reflex and will most likely be building into a Crucible right off the bat. So, yeah, I mean, they've got this pick, but he's itemizing properly for this game.
There's the Crucible. Yeah, he just picked up for it, so that's going to allow him to be tankier. And we know that Samuel is not a tanky character. He's usually on the back line, kiting around the fights, using his Drifting Dark and Malice and Verdict to give it that extra range with those empowered attacks. So for him to be sitting on the back line as his captain, zoning people out with Oblivions and Drifting Darks, it's a very interesting situation we have here.
You know what's kind of interesting is that Pawn was like under-leveled compared to Hammy and Evil, which typically we don't see happening. He just gets his level 7 right now, but Hammy and Evil ticking off to 7 before Pawn was able to get there.
Yeah, and once we have Pawn the Original Oh man, he's going to be doing so much damage. He already has this tension bow, but it looks like he's going kind of a more utility build as well. So I'm interested to see if he's going to be selling off one of his other items to pick up another weapon-powered item.
I'm sure at some point he's probably going to complete something, free up a slot and get into another item. But with just the tension bow and of course the weapon infusion here at level 7, you have to respect this Krull. And of course he comes through with a lot of crystal power or crystal damage when he activates the Spectral Smite. So it's still forcing C9 to think of shielding.
We do see Hammy here with the Frostburn and Eve of Harvest on this Scarf. He's going to be able to kite pretty well. They're taking advantage of this Crystal Sentry being left alone. Melted.
Evil predicting the movements from C9, not even throwing damage at that Crystal Sentry. Now C9 moving forward. Joseph, they're going to stun and mark up onto Evil. Evil, what's the play here? Look at how's he staying alive? The wait for it comes through. Oblivion right on the top, puts the wolf to sleep. Now the chase is on. Dragon's Breath coming through, burning down Old School. Can they find the kill? Yes, they can. Activating Spectral Smite coming through. C9 should be able to get Joseph and Gabe Bizzle out of this one, but Rogue, once again, they find a kill. It puts them up 4-1. They have net worth advantage. We're about 9 minutes in. Could probably take Goldminer as well, or shove this lane and take a turret.
Yeah, a lesser Samuel would have been caught out in that tri-bush with 3 members of the enemy team getting upon him.
Uh-oh, Pawn getting lit up. Truth of the Tooth, they've marked him. You see that his team has left him for dead. They committed to that turret, and sometimes you don't get all the damage you think is going to come out. So Rogue overstepping, making a mistake, and losing 2 for it.
Yep, making the mistake, and that's one of the reasons why Samuel, being a captain, not a pick that I'm trusting right now, because he's just so squishy, even if you build up all these items on him. This gold miner looks like he's going to be heading over to the side of C9.
So Evil had he bought a crystal bit. I noticed it a little while back. He has since sold the crystal bit. Now he's picked up a battery, right? So he's moving what should be most likely into an Echo. For me, that's the big power spike for this team.
Yeah, then he's going to be able to do exactly what we've been talking about, getting those Oblivions off, double Oblivions, getting those Drifting Darks to zone out the enemy team. D9 has a bit of a power spike too. They've got Breaking Point here on Old School. He's going to be able to ramp up his damage really well during these team fights. And they haven't been too elongated, but once we get later in the game, he's going to be doing some serious damage.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart build. Just Poison Shiv, Breaking Point. So Pawn wants to jump in here. He's immediately going to get Mortal Wounds applied and just allow that Breaking Point to start stacking up. And Pawn has completed a Shiver Steel for himself, and it's not an item we see all the time, but I like it here.
I like it here too, and I've actually seen him play this Shiver Steel Cruel, and it's something to be admired and reckoned with.
Evil. Moving forward, little Mouse and Verdict. They're going to jump Hammy. There's the Truth of the Tooth. Oblivion comes out. A nice blast Jimmer, silencing 2, but Pawn gets onto Old School. The Fountain comes out, keeping him alive, but they switch targets over to Hammy. Hammy kiting right back, trying to get on top of the goop. He's got the Spitfire, and Pawn not able to find a kill. Look at the sustain. Old School just healing himself up, applying that Mortal Wound with the Poison Shiv. He had, I don't know, at least 12 Breaking Point stacks there. And C9 taking a very convincing fight.
Very convincing fight from C9. They stuck together, and despite this off-meta pick from Evil and upon the original's Cruel, this Shiver Steel Cruel, this turret's going down, man.
Yep, it's done. Sean, how do Rogue respond here? I mean, the last couple fights have definitely gone the way of C9. Do Rogue have to switch something up here?
Yeah, they just picked up that Echo for Evil. He's going to be able to drop down those double Oblivions. So that's going to help them out too. But I feel like Pawn the Original's got to be more on the front line. He needs to focus down Old School. I feel like that last team fight, everybody was just clumped together. So they didn't have the back line. Hammy got deleted too quickly. And what's happening here?
Krull's getting lit up. Oh, the wait for it comes on through. Attack of the Pack is out, and C9 are on the chase. Baby Dragon's going to get torn apart here. As Captain Samuel is doing his best. He has Oblivion up in a couple seconds. Let's see if he can at least get a double Oblivion off. Come on, Evil. Do it, bud. There's one. Is he going to echo it? Oh, it's a disaster. You put Old School to sleep, but he's having sweet dreams.
He's having sweet dreams that they just took the Crystal Sentry. Let's go ahead and look at the replay here. So we had them, C9 actually aggressing, taking Pawn the Original super low, and he gets taken out. Then they focus, go after the Scarf. They know he's the next squishiest character. And we know that Evil, not going to be doing too much damage, just kiting away. C9 rotating together, getting that burst movement speed, and he goes down, only putting one person to sleep.
That feels so bad, man. Like when you get an Echo out and you have this special little Echo composition with a big ultimate that you want to play out, and you're at the end of a fight waiting for a cooldown, you barely get off your double ultimate, and it's just completely useless. Oh, I don't think it gets much worse than that.
Now he's going to have a longer cooldown to wait to get those double Oblivions up again.
That is so troll. You just trolled yourself, Evil.
It's so bad. It's 30 seconds for the Oblivion, and then we got the 54 seconds until the Echo is up again.
And so the item's pretty much completely useless at this point.
At this point, yes. So he's going to have to wait a long time. And to be honest, Humanist, I don't know if they're going to be able to combat what C9 has got here, man. Their composition is just really strong. It's dive, it's stun, it's a lot of aggression, and we see Evil and Hammy wanting to remain on the back line, and they're not gonna. C9's not gonna have any of it.
No, they're not. And you know, really, Rogue just can't afford to let Pawn get caught out like he was in the last fight either. I mean, that kind of did force Evil's hand. It's not like it's not his fault that the fight went that way. Pawn did get caught out there completely.
They've got to protect Hammy. He is the big damage dealer for this team right now. Sure, Pawn the Original is the bruiser. He's going to be able to use his weakness stacks, but it's more of a utility thing, right? Once Hammy gets that Broken Myth, he's going to come up online. He'll be at his 4 tier 3 items, but he has to be protected. Evil, Pawn the Original have got to do something to keep Hammy alive in these fights. And there goes this Crystal Sentry again.
1 life remaining there. Almost dead even in net worth across the board. And one of the big things we just have to keep our eyes on, I mean, Broken Myth timing for the Scarf. That's kind of like it at this point for me. I'm just waiting for Broken Myth to come out, and maybe if Rogue can chain together a nice Oblivion, forcing out a Crucible or something, they can find an engagement.
Interesting pickup from Pawn the Original. He got himself a Crucible, so we have 2 Crucibles, double Crucible, on the side of Rogue.
Super nice, actually.
Yeah, it's nice. They're going to be able to block up those, looks like the Gold Miner's going over here to C9 again.
Oh,
and
did they get it?
Right before the Kraken came out.
Oh, that's so good.
So nice.
Such efficiency out of C9 and super clean play. I mean, but the double Crucible on the side of Rogue means the Echo on the Blast Trimmer, maybe they could block off both of those.
It may be Yeah, it may be nullified. This Kraken is just going so quickly over to C9, but...
Is Hammy going to drop down? Hammy's clearing out the lane first. Okay, C9 are going to leave this opening here. When they drop off with the Kraken, move over, they're going to take the mids away. And let's see if they move for more. Right back over onto the Kraken. So they're just going to start it back up. Broken Myth has been completed for Hammy.
Yeah, it's been completed for him, so once they rotate down and find a team fight, they're going to be able to do so much damage, but, you know, I think C9 could have actually gone for that, but they're going for the Crystal Sentry. Eliminated!
Yeah, they actually have the timing on this Crystal Sentry down really well. This is one of the things I've noticed out of C9, other teams not doing so much. But as soon as that Crystal Sentry moves back out onto the map, C9 are almost moving out to its position simultaneously.
Yeah, it's really smart, and they're just playing around this Kraken right now, looking for a fight. Gabe Vils is going face check.
1 Spitfire will connect. I don't think Rogue wants to chase, especially because Hammy is so close to getting his infusion.
Yeah, when he gets that infusion, that's going to help him out even more. But I feel like Old School is just melting this Kraken. You know, they're doing really good damage on it, but they're using it to bait out Evil.
Yo, Evil, you got double Oblivion. This is your moment, dude. This is your moment. 1 Oblivion's out. Okay. Oh, that was not climactic. All right, Attack of the Pack, the chase is on. All from Hell's Heart blocked off, and of course the Kraken gonna go the way of C9. Now, wait for it comes through, silencing up Pawn. The chase is on. They block off the first Blast Trimmer coming through. Second one ready to go, but Gabe Vissel, he's gonna drop down. He gets the Found off just in time. Dragon's Breath is really not coming through the way Hammy would have liked because of the wall. They turn around, they block off the second Blast Trimmer. Really nice place for Rogue, but can they stay alive? Hammy dropping low. So is Gabe Vissel. They traded 1 for 1. They're gonna take Joseph out. Old School with a couple breaking point stacks on the backside will be left alone here. Rogue are going to go ahead and port back. Completely heal up before they get back out on the map and start to go to work on this Kraken.
Wow. taking out Gabe Bizzle and I Love Joseph, sure, that's great, but you got the heavy damage dealer, Old School here, still alive and in the game. Upon the Original and Evil are going to have to do work on this Kraken before it takes out their choke point turret.
No, they're doing pretty much the best they can do at this point. You know, Pawn pretty much just gets those stacks up, activates it, does it off cooldown, gets his just basic attack damage off. I mean, this is the kind of game where, you know, like you called it out early, Pawn is just full utility. There's really not too much damage coming out of this Kroll.
No, there's not, and we know that they're gonna have to protect the carry. Hammy, he's their main damage dealer here. Now that he's gotten Infusion, he's halfway burnt through it, he's got Broken Myth online, he's gonna be the one who has to melt through C9. They've got to protect him, they've got to keep him alive in these team fights.
One thing I really like that just happened here, Hammy got his Journey Boots. I mean, he refreshes his Infusion, which is great, but he picks up his Journey Boots, so this is exactly what you're talking about, staying safe in these fights.
Yeah, that's going to allow him to engage and disengage. I think with Scarf more, you're going to probably want to disengage more from the team fights to just stay on the periphery, stay on the outside of the team fights so you can keep landing your Spitfires and Goop combinations. And then his Dragon's Breath, in the last team fight, he activated it way too out of range, so it wasn't able to connect with the members of C9 very well. He's got to be able to clean that up.
Yeah, you gotta clean that up. I think sometimes it's easy to do, like, technically you're within a range, but you're behind a wall or something, right? So then you have to move all the way around, and you waste the entire duration just getting into position to make it effective in the first place. And we'll see if he can do so moving forward. Look at the net worth here. Rogue putting up an incredible fight against C9. Cloud9 gonna be moving forward. Gabe doesn't have any vision. This is not something that usually happens.
No, he doesn't have any vision. He prioritized actually getting War Treads with his last purchase in the jungle shop. They want to fight here. They have Infusions on Old School and I Love Joseph. War Treads is going to allow them to engage very easily upon the members of Rogue. And he's got Blast Tremor up. He's got the Echo. He could double Blast Tremor. They're going to be able to silence up the members of Rogue and take them down.
We talked about the double Crucibles coming out for Rogue before, and how, you know, it was going to be kind of tricky for them to have the communication to block both Blast Tremors coming out of Gabe Bizzle, but they successfully did that in the last engagement, so kudos to Rogue.
Yeah, kudos to Rogue for that. So if they keep doing that, they protect Hammy well, they're going to be able to win this game. 19 minutes in here, and the Kraken's being pulled into the Tribush. Yeah,
it's being taken incredibly quickly right now. Old School sold something. He's picked up a little more attack speed now. C9, they're going to pull the trigger here. They're going to move in. Attack of the Pack is out. Evol's on the backside, silenced up. But it didn't even throw out his Oblivion right off the bat. So he still has his double Oblivion ready to go. My thing is, can Pawn the Original land a nice from Hell's Heart here?
Yes, can he indeed. If he can do that, they could really capitalize on playing on the back foot a little bit here. I'm really scared for Rogue right now, but looks like he's sitting in the bush trying to get his Shadows Empowered Me perk up, and...
Look at the positioning from Old School and Joseph. They're going to sneak around the backside here. Oh. Really nice plays. Joseph, he jumps onto Hammy. Let's lose attack in the back. Now the chase is on. They went on to Old School. Oblivion comes out, but it's blocked off. Really nice job. The second Oblivion will put Gabe Bizzle to sleep. Nice from Hell's Heart. Does come out. It's on to Old School, but Old School standing his ground. He's getting breaking point stacks. Pawn the Original drops low. He's dead. The Dragon's Breath comes through, burning down Cloud9. Is this a triple kill for Hammy? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, the delicious Dragon's Breath Scarf ultimate that we all hope to have someday.
Oh
man,
my
Rogue
goodness.
with a wonderful defense.
Oh my goodness, Humanist. We just saw C9 burnt to a crisp. They're going to be able to take a turret here, and that's fantastic, but man, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here. So we had that choke pointer, so they actually ended up taking 2 turrets here. But C9 getting hyper aggressive here, just diving in, and that Hell's Heart, that was the key right there. Landing onto Old School, doing serious damage, weakness stacks galore, smite, the Dragon's Breath coming out.
Burn, baby, burn.
Burning.
Yep. Burning. Wow. Hammy burning while Cloud9 is learning.
Yeah, this is great. Vision being popped here. In the jungle, we have some vision all out over the place for Rogue. They got some pretty good vision control. I don't see any scout traps down from C9. So if you are Rogue right now, you're in a pretty good position.
That is actually a really good point. Something that, I don't think we've touched on so much. Like, the vision across this map is insane. Evil, he has really held his own this game on the Captain Samuel against the best team currently in North America. This is so impressive.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit on the back foot right now, Humanist, because they only have one crystal turret remaining. There's 3 turrets remaining for C9, but ooh, are they going to hide in this bush? Are they going to wait for C9 to walk on by? I don't know. C9?
I think that would take a while.
I think that would take a while, but C9's popping all this vision here, and if they just don't stick around to force Rogue to come in because of the Kraken, I think C9 could still just, oh yeah, they're gone. They're back to base, and C9's going to just continue to aggress. They're checking all these bushes.
Yep.
They don't want to get caught out.
Gabe's clearing out the majority of the vision, but the thing is, like, while he cleared out a huge swath of those scout traps, quite a few still do remain on the map here.
Yeah, that provides some pretty good vision. The Kraken's up already. Old School throwing out the charms. And Evil just picked up a Frostburn. Gonna give him some CP damage, but at the same time, it's utility because he's going to be able to slow down the members of C9.
True. Also, Pawn's got a Poison Shiv ready to go now as well.
Yeah, some late game power spikes coming out here.
Late game power spikes indeed. Now, Cloud9, what's the play? Mass flares coming out for both teams here. Gabe Vizzle wants to War Tread his team into position. Imagine that Joseph's going to look to mark a target. Is that second War Treads? They both have War Treads. This is so good to get in position. A nice silence comes out onto Evo. Can they keep him alive? No, Evo just gets wrecked right there. Now they're going to be looking for more or move back to Kraken. I think the smart and safe play is move back to Kraken.
Yeah, I think the smart and safe play is to do that, Humanist. 47-second death timer on Evil. He is just not going to come back in time to even contest this. Will his team members come back? They're just waiting. They're waiting in the bush. I feel like they know this is happening, but there's nothing they can do about it.
I mean, there's always something that you can do, right?
There's always something you can do. You can wait for the Kraken to march into your base and destroy everything. There's only one crystal turret remaining. Pretty healthy, and the Vein Crystal.
9-1-1, that's what I'm seeing. 9-11 in the score. Rogue, you're in a tough place. Honestly, about 10 seconds or so remaining for Evil before he respawns, and Cloud9 are in a great position to close this one out. Hammy and Pawn are going to have to play like absolute legends here. And granted that Evil is going to be respawning before they actually get into an engagement, they're not going to have that actual double Oblivion.
Nope.
One of the big power spikes for the Samuel.
Yeah, Echo is still down. He has another 12 seconds until it's there. But if they can draw this fight out, they might be able to do it. We haven't seen too much success with it, though, Humanist.
Gabe's Echo is down as well. Okay, we need brokenness stacks. Hammy's going to have to make the play. This comes down to Canada. Hammy find the damage. Joseph, attack of the pack. They move forward. Oblivion off the mark. Hammy starting to land some nice Spitfires. Blaster comes out, silencing Rogue. Joseph's then Truth of Tooth one more time. Dragon's Breath comes out for Hammy. Can he melt through? Cloud9, he's landing that Dragon's Breath. They're onto Old School, but all of Cloud9 are onto the Vein Crystal, and it looks like this Game 3 is going to Cloud9. You did real good, Rogue. You put up an incredible fight in this game, in this series, but right now, nobody can seem to stop this Cloud9 team.
The Cloud9 is thundering upon Rogue, and with this off-meta pick, Rogue was just not able to pull it off.
Unbelievable plays.